Call this meeting to order. I'm going to ask you to stand for the pledge, and after the pledge, please remain standing if you would. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. This, I believe, is a historic day. I want all of us to welcome our new chancellor to the board table. Has the notice of this meeting been posted?
It has been posted in accordance with the law.
Do I have any public comment? Okay, thank you. I lost you there, John. You moved on me.
We changed spots.
There you go. Introductions. Chancellor, you have some introductions?
I do. So yes, we've kind of been playing musical chairs. So let me start with first, our new Vice Chancellor of Legal Affairs and General Counsel, my successor, Nancy Molina. As you noted, Chair, John Guest, who used to be the Deputy General Counsel, is now the Chief of Staff. And Desiree isn't going anywhere. She's now the Chief Data Strategist. And Brittany Brown is our new Deputy General Counsel. Brittany, you got to stand up. All right. Moving over here to my left side, we have a new president at LSC Montgomery, Dayreese Reedhart. And then we also have a new president at Lone Star College North Harris, Benny Lambert. And the last person is watching, so I want to make sure the board knows also that Bridget Johnson will be coming back on Monday as our new Executive Vice Chancellor of Operations. And that's all I have, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the August 3rd, 2023 regular session and the August 11th, 2023 special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Special reports. Chancellor, do you have any special reports today?
I do actually. Chief Willingham, I think if we can go ahead to the next slide. There we go. Chief Willingham, I'd like to invite you up here and tell us what this slide is about in your own words.
Good afternoon, Chair Stoma, board members, Chancellor Castillo. It's my pleasure to announce that the Lone Star College Police Department is now a accredited law enforcement agency nationally. The slide kind of gives you an idea of what that means, because you would think that every agency is accredited, but it is not true. So this the gold standard of an accrediting body is CALEA, and it was created by the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, National Sheriff's Association, International Associations of Chiefs of Police, and the Police Executive Research Forum back in the late 1970s, in order to create a gold standard by which agencies could put themselves up against, and also to keep a pulse on the ever-changing dynamics of law enforcement in the community. So it is the premier accrediting body for law enforcement. It covers all agencies, not just higher ed agencies like ourselves. And now we're among the 4% that have received that CALEA accreditation, and only the second community college to achieve that honor. So I want to thank all the folks here in uniform who were a big part of this. This wasn't just my thing. This was a group effort. I want to thank Chancellor Castillo as COO. He championed this and gave us the resources to do this. But I would like to especially introduce our two accreditation gurus who took us through this for 4 years. If you please stand. Your right is Captain Mark Pemberton. He served as the accreditation manager during this initial cycle. And then his assistant, Deatra Spahn, served as the assistant accreditation manager, and she has now since been promoted to be the accreditation manager for our reaccreditation process. I supplied each of you with a commemorative coin of the event. And so that is, you're getting it before my people do. But we have something for each of our officers. So you'll be seeing that logo that's on the back of that coin on our patrol cruisers, on our substations, and even pins on the uniforms of some of our officers throughout the course of your interactions. And it's a big deal to us, and we're proud to be able to be transparent and be an excellent agency for an excellent organization that we serve. Thank you.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, we appreciate your leadership. And you're a good leader.
Thank you, sir.
You know, you provided direction here and you serve and lead these officers who do service well. All my interactions with all the police officers that I come in contact have been excellent. And I think you choose good people. I think these are good people. And this is quite an accomplishment. I mean, I really understand it. And I want to congratulate you and your officers and say, well done. Now, not only do you serve and protect, but you educate, and that's a big part of what you do. So continue to do your work, sir. Carry on.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Board.
And so, Chair, I just have a few events that I want to make sure I highlight. We had the Global Scholars Orientation on August 18th, 2023 at North Harris. It was a great event. It was actually my very first event that Friday after I became the chancellor. And it was just a great turnout. We had such a nice event. We also had, obviously, our fall 2023 convocation on August 21st. And we changed the format a little bit. I think we're going to be sending out a survey. And the reception that we got was very, very good. It was very well run. Thank you to everyone, especially those employees that had to work on Sundays, so that we had a very efficient event on Monday for the rest of us. The last event was, we had the Honors College orientation on August 25th, and that was also really, really nice. And I look forward, and I invite all of you to join us for the May reception. They have a May reception dinner, and I invite everyone on the board and everyone to come join that as well. It's a great event. And I think the Honors College and the Global Scholars Orientation, as I told those students, I believe that our students can go anywhere. And I think that when those students, when you come meet those students at Honors College and Global Scholars, you get that sense that, one of the things that I said at that event is, instead of worrying about whether our students are worthy of Ivy League schools, I reminded them that they have Ivy League minds, and asked them whether or not those schools are worthy of them. And it's a very different way to sort of look at the world. With forthcoming events, I want to make sure I invite everyone here. Dr. Blanson's retirement reception is on September 13th from 10 a.m. to noon, and it's going to be at North Harris Student Services Building. Please come and join us to say goodbye and thank you in person to Dr. Blanson, who gave us many years, including the pandemic. And then we have at Sci-Fair, we have the 20th year anniversary on the same day. So it's a double decker that day. So make sure you have your breakfast, folks, from 2 to 4. And again, that's at Sci-Fair Center for the Arts. And so again, please try to make it out to both events if you can. And last but not least, as we say goodbye to Dr. Blanson, we're saying hello and welcome to Dr. Lambert. And so Dr. Lambert's welcome reception is on September 26th from 2 to 4 at the North Harris Student Services Building. Please come join me, welcome Dr. Lambert in person, and just welcome him in his new capacity as well. And that's all I have, Chair. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Any reports from the groups, from the Faculty Senate or other groups? None? Board members, do you have anything to report? All right. So, all right, John, come forward, sir. I apologize, I didn't get the message. So, but you're welcome to do so. Go ahead.
So sorry. Thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
So good evening, everyone. I am Dr. John Bergduff, and I'm the president of the American Federation of Teachers here at Lone Star College. And I want to start this evening on behalf of the faculty and staff who are members of our union by formally congratulating Mario Castillo on his appointment as chancellor. AFT has been working together with you for many years on behalf of employees, and we have developed a fruitful working relationship with you for which we are very grateful. We very much look forward to building on that foundation to advance the mission of this amazing college, and we wish you great success in your new role. We also want to welcome Dr. Doris Reedhart, newly appointed president of LSC Montgomery, who is here for her first board meeting as president. And we also re-welcome Dr. Benny Lambert, who we recognized as interim president of LSC North Harris at the August board meeting, and we now acknowledge as permanent president. In addition, all the new appointments at system office, we congratulate all of you as well. Lone Star College is blessed by a slate of senior leaders who firmly believe in the mission of the public community college and who have the best interest of our students at heart. Those of us in the trenches doing the daily work of serving students, whether we're in a classroom, a lab, a library, an advising center, a counseling office, doing buildings and grounds, police offices, and everywhere else, appreciate that we are all one team working towards the same goals. Members of the board, greetings to you all. Action item 12 on tonight's agenda asks you to consider a set of important goals the chancellor would like to set for this current school year. These are goals that the union can fully support, and I would like to make a few comments related to them. 4 of these 5 goals connect in one way or another with the change in how the state will calculate our funding as mandated by House Bill 8. As you well know, the state is shifting the metric by which we are funded from enrollment to completion of meaningful academic milestones and credentials. Naturally, some people are concerned that community colleges could experience the same pressures that our K through 12 brothers and sisters have experienced with performance-based funding at their level, namely inflate the grades, lower the standards so we get a shot at the money. Although that concern is real, I believe that as a Lone Star family, we understand that going that direction is not the way to go, that it is a trap. Our graduates are going immediately into upper level classes at universities or directly into the workplace. Any shortcomings in their preparation due to a lowering of standards would be instantly obvious, and Lone Star would quickly lose our credibility. Instead, I believe the shift in funding gives our college a unique opportunity. In the next issue of our union newsletter, The Advocate, which will drop at the end of this month, we will publish an article entitled "How We Win with HB 8." The premise of the article is that funding incentivizes behavior. If we are funded by enrollment only, we are incentivized to spend on activities that get students in the door, perhaps to the detriment of spending on activities that will keep them here once they are here. However, if we are funded based on completion, then we are incentivized to invest more heavily in programs and behaviors that will help students to succeed. This opens the door to rich conversations about what that would look like. For example, how we approach advising would be one such conversation. If funding is based on numbers, we are incentivized to get students to sign up for as many classes as we can convince them to take. If funding, however, is based on students completing a credential, we are incentivized to help students wisely balance their commitments so that they can be successful at a pace reasonable to them. This approach has often been called intrusive advising. It works, but it can only happen if we have enough advisors with enough time and institutional support to engage students more meaningfully. Also, since funding will be based on students successfully completing an important milestone, wraparound services like mental health counseling, childcare, food security, transportation, and affordable class materials suddenly move from the sidelines of what we do as a college to the very center of the conversation. Advising and wraparound services are just 2 examples of conversations HB 8 could inspire if we handle the challenge correctly. The article in The Advocate will list more. Where these conversations will lead is hard to say, but now we have the incentive to pursue them, and the result can be a win for our students and a win for our college. There's one additional goal the chancellor wishes you to consider tonight, and it is dear to every union leader's heart. That goal involves concrete benchmarks to gauge the culture of the college from employees' perspectives at a granular level. The survey the AFT conducted about a year ago showed that some 75% of Lone Star employees feel valued and included at work, and that's wonderful. But that there is also a lost quarter who feel fearful and intimidated. Our culture as an institution affects our employees and spills over to the students as well, so addressing culture is crucial. The literature indicates telltale signs of working groups that are in trouble. Those signs include high turnover, low productivity, inability to fill open positions, and excessive absenteeism. The AFT applauds benchmarking these signs and all other evidence. We pledge to collaborate fully with the chancellor, the administration, and the board in this process. The union is planning a more targeted survey later this fall as one step, and we will coordinate that effort fully with the chancellor's efforts. Moving the needle significantly on college culture is a grand endeavor. We firmly believe that Lone Star College is a great college as it stands right now, and we also believe that it can be greater than still. We encourage the board to support action item 12, and I thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, John. Let me just say that House Bill 8, the execution of that, implementation of that is going to be part of our challenge going forward. I come out of the commercial world. You know, I taught here for 6 years when we were at North Harris County College, but in the commercial world, you know, this is the way it's done. You set your goals and you're judged on whether you hit your goals or not. So implementing this is part of our new chancellor's challenge, is to implement it fairly, where each employee, staff, everyone up and down the chain has opportunity to set their own goals. And the goals that we will discuss, the board will discuss, and we're going to discuss this in our closed session with the chancellor, are from the chancellor. We ask him to set his goals. He's put forth some really good goals, and maybe some other time we can have a better discussion on that. But the point is, it has to be collaborative to have meaning. It can't be seen as just rules to judge people by. So I encourage you all up and down, you know, in your own goals, but also those who, if you're responsible to others, and help them with their goals. So let them set their goals in alignment with our mission here. And if you do that, make them accomplishable and measurable, it'll be a successful thing. And that's my best advice. So, board members, do you have any comments? Have comments from board members? Committees, any committees who would like to report? Okay, then I would like to commission a committee, a new committee. The purpose of the committee will be to review and revise how the chancellor is evaluated. And this is the board, taking in consideration House Bill 8 and the chancellor's goals. So we have to create a new evaluation. So Vice Chair Murillo has volunteered to chair that committee. Trustee Saldivar, Trustee Kane have agreed to serve on that committee, as well as Trustee Broussard. And my charge to you, Trustee Murillo, is to have some kind of let's call it a draft, or preliminary findings, let's say by our December meeting, and then have this finalized by March of 2024, which will give everybody plenty of time to consider and discuss and work with the chancellor. I say, you know, we want to work collaboratively with everyone here. I think the more the board and the administration work together, the better things are. And it all has to be a collaboration. We all have to be a one big team here. So that's my charge to you, sir, and in your committee. Thank you. What else? Any other comments? We'll consider the consent agenda next. Item 4 on the consent agenda has been pulled. Item 10 has been pulled. Item 12, we're going to pull it for now and consider it after our closed session. And that would be approving the chancellor's goals for the coming year. And so when we come back from closed session, we'll have a consideration of that item. Okay. Any other items pulled for discussion? Anyone pulled for discussion? Okay, then I'm going to ask for a motion. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve items 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 13. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second motion? Second motion?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then the items pass. Thank you. This, I guess that brings us to the financial report, eh?
Okay. Good evening, board. Thank you. So I have for you tonight the financial statements for the month ending July 31st, 2023. This is for 11 months out of the prior fiscal year. So here on the revenue side, at that point in time, we had collected 98.1% of our budgeted revenues, which was 414 million. And you can see this is roughly in line with percent collections of prior years at that point in time. On the expenditure side of the budget, here, this has been a continuing trend on our expenditures that it is below trends from prior years at 79.7% for the 11 months. That's 325 million of the budgeted expenditures. So the variances here, these are the same variances that I have presented in prior months. This is the time of the year where we are sort of straddling fiscal years. So there are less updates here to provide, as this is 11 months of fiscal year 2023. We have now started fiscal year 2024, right? So at the next month's board meeting is when I'll have the monthly report for the year end, August 31st. But even then, really the next crucial update financially for fiscal year 2023 will be December, when I have the annual financial report to present for closing out the year. The team right now is in the process of doing the year-end closeout process. Next week is our soft close, and then we start working on the following entries, the year-end entries, and then engage the external auditors in preparation for that annual financial report. So these variances, the main other thing I do want to mention for my financial report is our tax rate adoption calendar. We did receive the certified values from Harris, Montgomery, and San Jacinto counties on August 29th. It was decided that was too short of a time period to have everything we needed in order for this regular board meeting. So I believe we are working on scheduling a special board meeting for later this month for the board to propose the tax rate and to set a public hearing. So that'll be later in September with the goal then from there, we should be able to hold that public hearing at the Thursday, October 5th regular board meeting and vote on the tax rate at that meeting. So those will be crucial dates from here for the tax rate adoption calendar. And that might conclude my report for the month. Thank you.
Any buildings or grounds or anything else?
Nothing of note. It is included in the packet.
All
for the
righty.
board.
And thank you very much. Any questions? For anyone?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we will now go into closed session. We will come back from closed session to consider item 12 on the consent agenda. But until then, you are free. So at 5:24, I adjourn this to go into closed session. It's 6:56 p.m. I reconvene our regular meeting session. We will now consider item 12 of the consent agenda. Could I get a motion to approve that item? Because motion had been second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item passes. One other agenda item. Are there any requests for future agenda items? None? All right. Then at 6:57, I adjourn this meeting. Thank you.